Most people spend their lives investing in everything but themselves. They chase validation, money, status. They pour their energy into impressing others, fitting in, and meeting expectations that were never theirs to begin with. But let me tell you something. It all starts with you. You are your greatest asset. Not your job, not your house, not your bank account. You. When you wake up in the morning, before you touch your phone or think about the day ahead, you're already carrying the most valuable resource you'll ever have, your mind, your soul, your potential. And yet, it's often the very thing people neglect. They'll protect their car with insurance, their money with banks, their phone with a case, but their mental peace, their purpose, their emotional health left vulnerable, unattended. You see, you weren't born to just survive, clock in, pay bills, and repeat until the end. You were born with the spark of something far greater. But if you don't invest in nurturing that spark, your growth, your resilience, your identity, life will bury it under fear, distractions, and noise. That's why you must treat yourself like the asset you truly are. When you build yourself from the inside out, you become someone the world can't shake. And this investment isn't always loud. It's not about flashing success or posting your progress online. It's often quiet. Early mornings where you choose discipline over comfort. Late nights where you journal instead of scroll. Days where you say no to toxic people because your peace is too precious to bargain with. This kind of investment is personal. It's sacred. Some people might say it's selfish to put yourself first, but let me ask you this. What do you have to give others if you're constantly empty? You cannot pour from a dry cup. When you invest in your mind, you think clearer. When you invest in your heart, you love deeper. When you invest in your spirit, you walk stronger, and from that overflow, you bless others. Not from obligation, but from abundance. There will be voices, internal and external, that tell you you're not worth the effort, that you've made too many mistakes, that it's too late. Don't listen. Your value isn't measured by your past, your productivity, or your popularity. It's in your being. It's in the fact that you woke up today with breath in your lungs and purpose still waiting to be lived. The fact that you can invest in yourself means you should, because you're not done yet. Every decision you make, what you consume, who you surround yourself with, how you spend your time, is either a deposit into your future or a withdrawal from your purpose. So start making choices that honor your value. Speak kindly to yourself. Learn something new. Spend time in silence. Connect with God. Strengthen your soul. The return on that investment, it changes everything. You are not your mistakes. You are not your struggles. You are not the opinions of people who never saw your worth. You are capable. You are needed. You are worth rebuilding, even if the world told you otherwise. Because at the end of the day, when the noise fades and the lights go out, the greatest thing you will ever have is the person you've become. So build that person wisely, build them intentionally, and above all, never forget, you are your greatest asset. Most people walk through life searching for something to hold on to, something steady when everything else is falling apart. They look to relationships, success, money, even fame, hoping one of those things will anchor them. But all of it, every bit, can be taken from you in an instant. What remains is what you've built on the inside. And that's why spiritual investment, quiet, consistent, unseen by the world, is the most powerful kind of strength a person can ever carry. Now, when I say spiritual investment, I'm not talking about religion in the way most people define it. I'm not talking about checking boxes or just showing up on Sunday. I'm talking about a deeper connection, a relationship with God that becomes the foundation of who you are, so that when life shakes, you don't. It's the kind of faith that isn't loud or performative. It's personal and it's powerful. Because when the storms come, and they will come, you won't have to scramble for peace. You'll already have it planted deep within you. You see, the world can teach you how to succeed, how to compete, how to chase, but it rarely teaches you how to be still, how to listen, how to draw strength from something greater than yourself. And in those quiet moments, when you've got no applause, no spotlight, and maybe not even much hope left, that's where real transformation begins. That's where God whispers things the world is too loud to hear. That's where you begin to realize that everything you've been looking for on the outside was always supposed to be grown on the inside. Strength doesn't always look like muscle or confidence or a bold voice. Sometimes strength is just peace in the middle of chaos. It's choosing grace when you could choose revenge. It's forgiving even when it still hurts. It's holding on to faith when logic says let go. And none of that comes from willpower alone. That kind of resilience, that kind of unshakable spirit only grows when you've spent time with your source, when you've poured into your soul the same way the world taught you to pour into your goals. So take time to pray, not just when you're desperate, but when you're grateful. Reflect. Ask the hard questions. Build your inner world like it matters, because it does. It's not wasted time. It's not weakness. It's not detachment from reality. It's preparation for it. And the more you invest in your spirit, the more the world's chaos loses its grip on you. You'll stop reacting to everything. You'll stop living for approval. You'll start walking with a kind of calm that can't be explained. People will wonder what changed. What they won't see is the early mornings when you chose presence over pressure. The nights you cried out in prayer instead of breaking down. The battles you won on your knees when no one was watching. You become a different kind of person when you invest spiritually. Not perfect, but grounded. Not fearless, but brave. Not loud, but impactful. Because you carry something the world didn't give you, and therefore the world can't take it away. So don't just build your brand. Build your being. Don't just train your body, train your soul. Don't just prepare for success, prepare for storms. Because when your spirit is strong, you don't need to chase strength. You are strength. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to become more, stronger, wiser, better, but not everybody wants the process that comes with it. Because truth is, growth doesn't feel good. It's not clean. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready, and it never promises comfort. It demands discomfort. It demands change, and it sure doesn't demand perfection. That's the lie most people buy into, that they have to have it all figured out before they take the first step. But if you're waiting for perfection, you'll never move. See, the journey of becoming more isn't about arriving at some flawless version of yourself. It's about becoming real. It's about falling, getting back up, and learning with every scar. Growth is awkward. It's uncomfortable. You'll question yourself, you'll doubt, you'll want to quit. But that's where the breakthrough lives. Not in the polished, filtered moments, but in the ones where you're stretched beyond what you thought you could handle. There's a reason the seed breaks before it blooms. There's a reason the muscles tear before they grow. That discomfort, that resistance, it's not there to stop you. It's there to shape you. The moment you feel out of your depth, overwhelmed or unqualified, that's the exact place where transformation begins. You don't grow when things are easy. You grow when you're tested, challenged, pushed to the edge, and forced to choose. Do I stay the same, or do I rise? You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to feel confident every step of the way. You just need to move. You need to show up, even if your voice shakes, even if you're scared, even if all you've got is faith the size of a mustard seed. That's enough. Because progress isn't about speed or perfection. It's about direction. It's about consistency. It's about courage. even in small doses. And listen, it's okay to mess up. It's okay to not have all the answers. Growth will humble you, it'll expose your blind spots, your habits, your limits, but that's not failure. That's feedback. That's the invitation to go deeper, to stretch further, to become stronger. Don't let a setback convince you you're not meant for this. That pain you feel, that's the cost of becoming. What most people don't realize is that real growth is quiet. It happens in the background, in the choices no one claps for, in the days you feel like giving up but don't, in the nights you stay committed to the process even when it feels like nothing is changing. But something is changing. You. And the you that's rising from the discomfort will carry a depth, a resilience, a power that a perfect life could never give you. You want a better life? Then be willing to go through what better requires. You want to be stronger? Then be ready to carry some weight. You want purpose? Then embrace the pressure that shapes it, because nothing worthwhile is born from ease. It's born from effort. So stop chasing perfect. Chase progress. Embrace the mess. Welcome the stretch. Because if it's uncomfortable, you're not failing. You're growing. And the greatest version of you is waiting on the other side of everything you thought you couldn't handle. You can have all the success in the world. You can have the money, the recognition, the followers, the applause. But if your mind isn't right, if your heart is heavy, if your soul is tired, none of it feels like a blessing. That's why mental and emotional health can't be treated like an afterthought. It's not a luxury. It's not optional. It's a necessity, a non-negotiable. Because when your inner world is in chaos, no amount of outer achievement can bring peace. We live in a world that teaches people to hustle, to grind, to perform. Push through it, they say. Don't show weakness. But pretending you're okay doesn't heal you. Smiling through pain doesn't make it disappear. You weren't created to carry everything alone, to suppress your emotions, or to deny your struggles in the name of being strong. Real strength is knowing when to pause, when to breathe, when to ask for help, when to say, I'm not okay, and that's okay. You see, healing doesn't happen when you ignore what's hurting. It begins when you see it, when you sit with it, when you give yourself permission to feel. Too many people are running from pain they've never faced, but the pain you ignore is the pain that controls you. The only way out is through, and that journey starts when you stop pretending and start prioritizing your well-being. Sometimes that means cutting ties with what drains you, even if it's familiar. Sometimes it means setting boundaries, even if people don't like it. And sometimes it means being radically honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what are you tolerating that's keeping you tired? What are you carrying that's not yours to hold anymore? What part of you needs rest, not more pressure? The truth is, peace is not found in a place. It's found in a decision to protect your mental space, a decision to step away from chaos, a decision to stop pouring into things and people who leave you empty. And once you start valuing your peace, you stop entertaining anything that threatens it. Don't let the world trick you into thinking emotional wellness is weakness. It's not. It's wisdom. It's maturity. It's choosing to break cycles instead of passing them on. It's doing the inner work so the next version of you doesn't carry the wounds of the last. It's choosing to respond, not react, to heal, not just cope, to be whole, not just functional. There's no reward for suffering in silence. There's no prize for pretending. The people who live with true joy, with clarity and purpose, are the ones who made their healing a priority. They didn't wait until life forced them to slow down. They chose to make space for reflection, for faith, for self-respect. And from that space, they became people who could lead with love, not resentment. with strength, not burnout. So take care of your mind like you do your goals. Take care of your heart like you do your work, because your peace is your power. And when your inner world is aligned, you become unstoppable, not because you're louder or tougher, but because you're rooted, calm, clear, and finally free to rise. If there's one thing we all get in equal measure, it's time. Not money, not talent, not opportunities, time. 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. And yet, how we choose to spend it, that's what separates the fulfilled from the frustrated, the disciplined from the distracted, the growing from the stuck. Time is your currency. You can't save it in a vault or earn it back once it's gone. Once you spend it, it's spent. So, how do you save it in a vault or earn it back once it's gone? Once you spend it, it's spent. So the question is, are you investing it in yourself, or are you giving it away to everything that doesn't serve you? People say time flies, but the truth is it's not flying, you're just not noticing it. You're caught in the loop, scrolling, comparing, saying yes when you should have said no, living by other people's schedules, caught in commitments that steal your peace and leave your soul hungry. And all the while, your potential sits in the background, waiting for you to remember it matters. You can chase success, chase people, chase comfort, but if you're not spending time with you for you, you'll always feel a little lost. Because the deepest parts of you don't speak loud. They speak in silence, in stillness. They need your attention, not just your leftovers. And too often, we give the best of our hours to distractions, to noise, to pleasing people who wouldn't even notice if we disappeared tomorrow. You've got to protect your time like it's sacred, because it is. It's the one thing you can't rewind. And when you realize that, you start moving differently. You stop wasting hours on things that drain you. You stop overcommitting to prove your worth. You start being intentional with your mornings, with your conversations, with what you consume. You start asking, is this helping me grow or just keeping me busy? Every minute you spend can either bring you closer to your purpose or push you further from it. And listen, this isn't about hustling every second of the day. This is about alignment. It's about giving your time to the things that feed your soul, not just your ego. It's about making space for faith, for rest, for growth. Because busyness is not the same as progress. Movement is not the same as meaning. There's nothing wrong with taking breaks, but let those breaks be intentional. Let them restore you. Don't numb yourself with noise and call it rest. Don't confuse distraction with relaxation. Real self-investment means giving yourself time to reflect, to reset, to remember who you are and where you're headed. You've only got so many years, so many days, so many moments left, and nobody knows the number. That's not to scare you, it's to wake you up, to remind you that your time is too valuable to give to anything that doesn't honor who you're becoming. That includes bad habits, negative people, and endless procrastination dressed up as perfectionism. So stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for more energy, more clarity, more motivation. You've got all the tools you need. The moment is now. The clock is ticking. Whether you move or not, choose to move, choose to build, choose to spend your time like the gift it is, because one day you'll look back and realize the life you created was simply a reflection of what you chose to do with the time you were given. Most people talk about the future like it's some far-off place, like it'll show up one day with a knock on the door and say, I'm here, and I've got it all figured out for you. But that's not how it works. Your future isn't waiting to surprise you. It's waiting to be shaped by you. Every choice you make today is a seed, and the harvest you'll see tomorrow depends entirely on what you're planting right now. The thing is, we all dream. We all imagine what life could be like if things were different, if we were more disciplined, more focused, more courageous. But dreaming isn't enough. Hoping isn't enough. If you want a strong future, you have to start with a strong present. You have to show up, even when no one's watching. You have to do the hard, thankless work when it feels like nothing is changing. Because the future doesn't respond to intentions. It responds to investment. The person you'll be in 5 years, they're watching what you do today. They're counting on you to make the tough decisions now so they don't have to carry the weight of your procrastination later. Think about that. The peace, the confidence, the purpose you want later, it starts with your habits now. It starts with what you feed your mind, who you let into your space, what you say yes to, what you're willing to walk away from. We get so caught up chasing quick results that we forget real growth takes time. You won't see the outcome tomorrow, or maybe even next month. But don't mistake delay for denial. What you're building is deeper than surface results. You're building character. You're building discipline. You're building the kind of foundation that won't collapse when life gets heavy. And don't think small beginnings don't matter. Every great future started with one step in the right direction. One decision to try. One choice to keep going. Maybe it's reading that book instead of watching TV. Maybe it's waking up earlier, praying longer, cutting off the noise that keeps you stuck. Those things don't look big at first, but over time, they change everything. And here's the truth. You're not always going to feel motivated. You're not always going to feel clear. But that's when faith steps in. That's when you say, even if I don't see the full picture yet, I'm going to build like it's coming, because it is coming. And when it shows up, it'll meet you prepared, ready, strong. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for perfect timing. The best time to start becoming who you were created to be is now. Not when you have more money, not when life slows down, not when everything lines up. Now. Because every excuse you entertain is stealing from a future that's meant to be extraordinary. Under extraordinary, let your present be a declaration. Let it say, I care enough about where I'm going to take responsibility for where I am. Invest in your habits. Invest in your healing. Invest in your calling. Because the version of you that's coming, confident, peaceful, powerful, is only possible if the version of you today has the courage to begin. So here we are. We've talked about investing in your soul, your mind, your growth, your peace, your time, and your future. But let's make one thing clear. This isn't just a motivational message to feel good for a moment. This is a call to action, a call to ownership, because